I have a whole lot that I want to say. I have a whole lot that needs to be said. So many emotions going through my head today. Obviously, you can see from the graphic right here. Jaylen Brown has been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in return for Paul George, who is a washed up veteran, far beyond his prime, injury prone, mind you, and clearly isn't as good as he used to be, along with 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, some swaps, whatever. Are we serious? Brad Stevens. This is a personal message from me to you. What the fuck were you thinking? And I just saw reports that you initially offered Jaylen Brown for VJ Edgecombe and 4 first-rounders. When they said no, why is it that you settled for the 30-something-year-old washed-up veteran and just 2 first-round picks, and then settled even more for 2 second-round picks? Mind you, the 2 first-round picks, if they're Phillies, I don't know if they're Phillies, I'll have to look back and check. They're going to be finals bound with this team now because they still have their young core. They still have Joel Embiid, they still have Tyrese Maxey, and they still have VJ Edgecombe. And now they have Jaylen Brown. Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. Look it. I just got a notification on my phone. This is my background. This is one of my lock screens. Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. And now he's gone. We got, in return, a bag of fucking potato chips. I'm seriously baffled at this deal, and I'm going through the stages of grief over the course since I found out. July 1st, 2026 has to go down in history as probably one of the worst days of my life. Other than, July 4th, 2016 has to be up there as well. If you guys aren't aware, that was the day Kevin Durant chose to sign with the Golden State Warriors after losing to them in the playoffs and blowing a 3-1 lead, instead of signing with Boston when everyone thought he was coming to Boston. But that's neither here nor there. I feel like this is a very similar situation. We blow a 3-1 lead in the first round of the playoffs after having a down year and becoming the second seed in the East, led by this man that you see on your screen, who is now photoshopped in a fucking Sixers jersey. Oh my gosh. I genuinely have no words. We blew a 3-1 lead to the team that this man has now been traded to. And this is how we pay them. Believe me, if this is with any other team, I'd still be upset, but not at the rate that I'm at right now. You go to not only the team that came back 3-1 when we were up 3-1 in the first round of the playoffs and defeated us, even though we were clearly the better team, we just absolutely shit the bed when it came to shooting, because for some reason, when we try to live and die by the three with Missoula ball and it doesn't work, we don't try any other schematics. We don't try any other plans. We don't try anything else. We don't try anything else. We just stick to live and die by the three. And that series, we died by the three. And it was very evidently shown. And that what ended up happening, whatever. But this is how we pay them? This is how we pay them? We give them our best player? Second best, if you want to call Tatum? Which, I put the jersey up because now he is forever our savior. And at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if Brad Stevens said, fuck it, let's trade him too. And he's going to be gone for another washed up veteran and some more bags of chips. So we got Paul George, the podcaster, who does what I do, just at a higher level and gets paid a lot more money than me. And fucking the next second grader who's learning shapes and colors right now. It's just unbelievable to see. Let me fix it. The light doesn't fucking matter. Fuck the light. It's unbelievable to see this and to live this and to be a fan of this organization when we had like me, like many other Celtics fans in recent memory, we thought Brad Stevens was the smartest man, the smartest general manager that since sliced bread. You know, we had Danny Ainge. He did a hell of a lot of great things for the city of Boston as a GM. He brought in Isaiah Thomas. Obviously, he traded away our guys, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry. But in that deal, they ended up turning into this man that you see on your screen and Jason Tatum, our generational players who ended up winning another championship for the city of Boston for the first time since Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and since Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce won back in 2008. And this is how we do them. Now, I know there was a lot of rufflings in the media about Jaylen Brown and, talks of him being traded. But you go back. This man never requested a trade. Not once. He had nothing to say as far as his future in Boston or his future of his career. The only shit that came out about him in the media was the beef that he had with Stephen A. Smith. This had nothing to do with trade rumors. I take that back. I take that back. This did have, obviously, the beef with Stephen A. did have shit to do with trade rumors. But still, this is how we do our finals MVP after damn near basically 10 years of service. It's just when are the Celtics front office going to learn? Because this has been going on for years now. To just not stab your guys in the back who have given you so much. Guys like Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, who we traded and just absolutely stabbed in the back. Isaiah Thomas dropped 53 after his sister died and then proceeded to trade him because he was dealing with injuries with his hip, which that man could probably still play in the league to this day. We just have no sense of loyalty on the front office side of things, and it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. You got guys like Steph Curry who have been drafted by their team, won with their team, and their front office is very smart enough, bare minimally smart enough to not trade or get into rustlings with for them to leave. I just don't understand. Jaylen Brown was in the same position. Drafted at Boston, was dealing with a lot of shit there, but was a good player, developed in Boston, won a championship with Boston, won Finals MVP with Boston. Mind you, when Steph Curry, when he won his first championship, he wasn't the Finals MVP. This man was. Obviously, that was a tie-in between him and Tatum, but still, he was very much deserving of this Finals MVP. And this is how we do him. It's actually unbelievable. I'm still trying to cope with this off season because there's a lot going on. I mean, I have mixed feelings about Brad Stevens signing Mitchell Robinson after he had just won a championship. I get it. He's a good player. He, is going to be big for the Celtics with rebounds and defending, but that man can't make a free throw to save his life. If the aliens had the death beam pointed at Earth and he had to make a free throw to survive, that man's dying 9 out of 10 times and can't stay healthy. Just like this motherfucker who's photoshopped in a Celtics uniform. This man can't stay healthy either. Unbelievable. And then for some reason we signed Mike Conley, who's a 38-year-old who probably isn't going to do much. He's probably not going to do much. He's not going to start because, if anything, that starting position, it's going to be probably Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, which who knows if they're staying with the trajectory that we're at because we don't know shit about loyalty or keeping the core together because we were a good team. 2024, we win the championship. 2025, we kept the same team. We go to the playoffs. We lose in, I believe, the second round. Whatever. Then we lose a lot of guys. Tatum gets hurt. This is the guy who was leading our team this past year. Said it was supposed to be a down year. We didn't have Drew Holiday. We don't have Porzingis. We don't have Tatum. We don't have Al Horford. Mind you, I just listed off 4 out of the 5 starters. What happens? We end up being the second seed in the East and getting bounced out in the first round of the playoffs to the team that we just traded our best player to after being up 3-1. So now, Philadelphia has themselves a core 4 of, like I said previously, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. And we're just left with the unction. The Celtics are now officially the unction. We used to be talked about as one of the greatest young core teams to be assembled, a great young group of guys. Now we're just the fucking unction. We got rid of Vucevic, which thank God he's back in Orlando. Go freaking terrorize that city yet again, because Orlando's absolutely dog shit, and they're gonna be dog shit forever. And I just like, it's unbelievable. I don't know what else much to say. I'm my phone's been blowing up ever since I found out. Ever since I got the notification, the breaking news from Shams Charania, who has been teasing this trade. It's just like July 1st, 2026 today, I'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. Um yeah, I mean, what I thought was going to be like, we were supposed to trade him. If there was going to be a trade, it was supposed to be him and Ugo Gonzalez and maybe a first round pick or 2 for Giannis Antetokounmpo, a superstar who is a year older than Jaylen Brown, I believe. Fact check me, double check. Pretty sure he's only a year older than Jaylen Brown. Why is it that when Milwaukee declined the trade, we continue to shop them? I'll never understand it. And to think that the one thing that stopped the Celtics from getting superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo was the fact that they wouldn't include Ugo Gonzalez in the deal. And they backed out because they refused to keep Ugo in the deal is beyond me, because now the Miami Heat have Bam and Giannis, and we have Jason Tatum and the unction. But I think I got just about everything off my chest. I'm speaking for all Celtics fans when I say best of luck to Jaylen Brown with, I hate to say it, the Philadelphia 76ers. Best of luck on the rest of your career. I didn't want to see you go. Obviously, I heard for weeks, maybe months now at this point, that there were talks about you getting traded, and I guess obviously today, it's official, and you are no longer a Boston Celtic. But I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay, despite any and all attention given with the Giannis trade buzz. And I wish we could have tried to work things out, or at least they try to work things out. I'm not a part of the fucking organization, so I can't speak on behalf by saying we. I don't know how this is going to affect Jason Tatum, obviously, because he hasn't said anything since. And I don't know how this is going to affect his play and the future of the Celtics organization. And if this is how, the front office is going to continue to be, and this is how they're going to treat their players, it's just like, I'm a lifelong diehard Celtics fan, and this was absolutely like gut wrenching to see, gut wrenching. And quite frankly, I feel backstabbed because this is not the first time that we've seen this. Not to mention, I basically grew up with Jaylen Brown. Um, Given that we've just given away guys like Isaiah Thomas, Rondo, Pierce, Garnett. So it's very frustrating, but oh god, just gonna have to live and cope. But Brad Stevens, you better be cooking something up to get someone better because this is horse shit. This is the worst trade that I've ever seen, and I've seen the Luka trade. This might be up there with the Luka trade. This might top it, honestly, genuinely. How are you gonna trade away a Finals MVP for a washed up veteran who can't stay healthy? At least Luka, he didn't win the finals and wasn't a Finals MVP, and they got AD or whatever, and that trade went to shit. But figure it the fuck out.